are fun to watch, and it's always, these kids, it's win or go home time, and obviously in all basketball this time of year, it's win or go home time, so it's competitive. Teams get nervous, teams do some crazy things, and crazy things happen when your season's on the line, so it should be a lot of fun.
As we saw in the game right before us, the Concordia girls got a lead late but couldn't hold it, and the Nickerson Panthers are going to state with a 50-47 victory in the game. Welcome to the State Farm Insurance Anthony Hopkins pregame shows. Anthony Hopkins is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley Vikings and your sponsor of the Viking pregame show. Both teams are out there on the court warming up for what is going to be a great Substate final here in Lindbergh. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back. We'll talk about some statistics for the game. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball.
In Ellsworth and Lincoln, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burgerpalooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on, State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins. Anthony and his team are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins at 785-472-4426 today.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. EmsloyGlassDecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't find anywhere else. Emsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley Athletics since 1984.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
We got Jared Bass working the controls for us once again, doing a great job. The Vikings with a chance to go back-to-back state tournaments here. They'd love to see if they could make this one the third one, the fun one at home even. The other two have been on the road, one at Clay Center and one at Concordia, so they'd like to be able to take the trophy home from being at home. But a very good Chapman team standing in the wake. They won a close game last night with the Wasilic kid going off for 23 points, and they've got some scorers and some potentially great players.
Yeah, they've got a lot of shooters, a lot of guys that they've got, that can spot up around the perimeter, and that's always tough to defend when you got four guys on the floor that can put up and shoot and score like that. They've got Jackson, who's kind of their penetrating kick guy that will have the ball a lot, and he'll penetrate kick, get a couple guys to attract on him, and then they'll kick it out and hit some threes. They're a very streaky shooting team, and, hopefully, obviously, it's not one of those good nights tonight for them, but it's always something you got to worry about. You never know. A team like that can go on a 9-12-0 run really, really quick in the game, and those are types of, in championship games like that, those are momentum swings are always so big.
And it was a big thing for the Vikings to go on a 12-0 run. That's what got them their separation last night in their game, so they know how to do that well. They shoot well at home. Nick Reinert leads the team. 4 seniors in double figures. Nick at 17.2. Brett at 12 points, Weldy at 11.4, and Jacob Adams at 11 points a game. They just seem to game in and game out, not get too worried about what's going on, and have the ability to score points when they need them.
Yeah, that's always a big thing. You got, 5 seniors on the team, right, and 4 in double figures. So the nice part about that is the, kind of like we talked about with stuff with Chapman, is Smoky Valley has so many different scorers. You can't just focus on Nick. You can't just focus on, Brett Highschmidt in the corner threes or anything like that. You've got to guard everybody in all areas of the court, and it makes it very, very tough, which is it's a good thing. And also the experience for Smoky Valley. They don't get rattled. This is looking for their 3rd straight state championship appearance. They've been here 2 years in a row. These seniors have played these games, so probably something that's going to bode well for them tonight, hopefully.
Well, we certainly hope so. I had a chance to talk with Coach Doug Snyder a little bit ago, and here are his thoughts on tonight's game. Back to more Viking pregame. Don Binks along with Coach Doug Snyder as you get a fun night tonight when you have a chance to go to state for the 3rd time with this group of seniors, and what a game last night to get to this point, and the 2-week layoff didn't hurt you very bad at all.
Yeah, our guys really came out and played well from the get-go last night. I was really pleased seeing the energy we brought to the table, and it doesn't hurt to hit shots right away.
Yeah.
That always makes the game go a lot better for you and flow a lot better. But I just thought we played a pretty solid 32 minutes of basketball. I know there were some ups and downs in there, and they made a few runs at us, but it wasn't like I thought we were doing things poorly. I thought we executed things pretty well. We, kept turnovers down to a minimum. That was one of the things we talked about before the game, was being smart with the ball, especially after that layoff. And like I said, guys got involved in the game. We had a number of guys just play really well, and Jacob had a nice scoring night. Brett had a nice scoring night. Nick had a nice scoring night and an assist night. Ben didn't get to 10, but I thought he played a really good inside game. I thought he was really smooth with what he did. Zach Abel hit a big 3 for us, and just guys doing what they're supposed to do and accepting and understanding their roles, and that's what we need more of as we go into an exciting championship game tonight.
Yeah, one more thought on the last night's game was Blake Hebel had a couple of steals. We talked about that in the postgame, how he read the passing lanes, and the defense was just sharp.
Yeah, and Blake doesn't always give us a lot of scoring, but he gave us a few buckets last night right around the rim, and that's what we expect from Blake, and we expect that defensive intensity from him. He's starting to become one of those guys who's reading the floor well and can understand how to get, a pick-off here or there, kind of like, with him and Windholtz and Schrag out there. They create kind of that defensive triumvirate for us and allow us to do some different things. And a lot of times, when you say a steal on the radio, it usually has one of those 3 names in there, and, throw Nick Reinert in that mix too, and it's usually a pretty good blend for us. So, Blake does the things we need him to do. A lot of the dirty work sometimes, doesn't always get a lot of the fame, but he's a hard worker.
Yeah, he is. He does. Fun to watch. But tonight is Chapman versus Smoky Valley, 1 versus 2, and they're a team that's, as we saw them win the game against Concordia last night, they're a very good team.
Very good basketball team. They've had some injury bugs bite them along the way, but they have a lot of talent. They're young. I think they only put 1 senior on the floor, and that's the Loy kid. He's a nice shooter, probably their best perimeter shooter. He didn't shoot great last night, but he can do some damage. And they're just the type of team, very athletic. They really get after you, run a lot of that 1-3-1, which we've seen a few times this year. Last night they had to resort a little bit more to a man-to-man to come back against Concordia, but they're very talented. The Wasilk kid went off last night for 23 and hit some bombs from the 3-point line that we're going to have to make sure we guard tonight. I don't even think they shot the ball extremely well last night. So if they have more in them, we're going to have to find ways to be able to shut that down. But we think we create some mismatches for them to have to guard as well. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of tactics they take to go at us and what we can do to retaliate those as well.
Again, we're talking with Coach Doug Snyder pregame of the championship game of the Smoky Valley Substate, and trip to state on the line for these 5 seniors that have been, if we win tonight, will be the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, it will. And, we've always had a great group of guys that have helped them get there. No different this year. We have those young guys that have been coming in and giving us solid minutes, especially when one of those seniors was hurt and we had to have guys step up. And, it's just we really bought into this whole team effort and what the team can do for us every single year. But it is a special group of seniors. They've been together. They've been through a lot. They want to come out. They're spearheading a lot of this. They're talking to us about what they think they can do, what they think they can play tonight. And so, a lot of the things that we base our game plan on are a lot of the things that they think they're capable of doing. And we sprinkle in a little bit of extra here or there to challenge them. But they're a great group of guys, and they're excited. They're ready to play, and it's nice to have the championship at home. I think it's going to be a great crowd tonight. We just got to come up and play.
And finally, some keys to victory.
We need to score more points than they do. I think that's the biggest key. No, same as usual. They're an athletic squad. We've got to box out. We've got to rebound well. If you're talking about a lot of putback baskets, we're in trouble. We've got to defend the 3-point line well, and we've got to defend Jackson well, because those guys he's a solid athlete who can go off anytime. And I think we need to execute offensively, just like you and I talked about last night. Hitting the open guy, finishing plays, and if we don't, get a board and get a putback.
Sounds like a plan, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
Doug Snyder of the Vikings, and we'll be back with more pregame right after this.
Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Direct Access Physical Therapy at Lindsborg Community Hospital means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order. Sports rehab, post-joint replacement, joint and back pain, or decreased mobility, you can schedule an appointment for evaluation and treatment. Mark, Robin, Eric, and Pam will get you on your way to better health and activity. Call Lindsborg Hospital at 227-3308 and ask for physical therapy. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
Come back to Smoky Valley Gym. We'll have a little bit of pregame here, Jared, before we have to break for the national anthem. But both teams out on the court warming up. Just by a court appearance, it doesn't look like Chapman looks too nervous out there. Of course, you never can tell until the ball's thrown up for the half-court jump. But the Vikings, like you said, should be a little more seasoned with this group going the last 2 years, winning this Substate championship. That's got to help in your favor a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. Just understanding, that this is a 32-minute game and that this game isn't played in one quarter. Just being able to calm and with Chapman, a three-point shooting team, they can hit a couple in a row as long as Smoky Valley stays calm. Doesn't try to do, get 8 points in a possession, anything like that. That experience will play through to them, and hopefully Chapman's an up-and-down team and the Smoky Valley can stay consistent throughout and come out on top.
We see the Smoky Valley ESPN network over there on the front couple of rows. We got Carson Byers that's normally been helping me a little bit. There are like 6 or 8 guys over there that got headsets and are going to be reporting on the game. So I hope that Mike, you'll pan in on those guys a little bit to see what they do up there. So you're also being able to listen to this game on live.smokyvalley.org. So you can see how it comes out tonight from their perspective as well. So we're moments away from tip-off. We'll take this timeout for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and tip-off of tonight's game. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball, back right after this.
Community proud. Let us all work together in making all high school activities a positive experience. By being courteous and respectful to all players and officials, we can help assure high school activities are indeed the other half of education. Officials for tonight's game, Kevin Graham, Armando Espinoza, and Jeff Westover. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's championship game. For Chapman, it'll be a 6'5" junior, number 23, Isaac Jackson. And for the Vikings, it's a 6' senior, number 3, Nick Reiner. For the Irish, a 6' senior, number 24, Zach Lloyd. And for Smoky Valley, it's the 6'1" senior, number 5, Zach Abel. For the Irish, a 5'9" junior, number 30, Anthony Wasil. And for Smoky Valley, it's a 6'4" senior.
Forgot to give it to you.
Yeah, I never gave it to me. That's all right. Go ahead.
They're all seniors. Nick Reinert, he's a senior. He wears number 3. Zach Abel, a senior. He wears number 5. Jacob Adams, a senior also. He wears number 24. Brett Heitschmidt, a senior. He wears number 33. And Ben Weldy, he's a senior. He wears number 42. The Vikings are coached by Doug Snyder, Alan Meyer, and Dylan Walter. And the Vikings are in their white home uniforms with black lettering, black numerals trimmed in orange. Orange and black and white striping down the side, and an SV on the side. And Chapman in their all green uniforms, white lettering, white numerals, trimmed in black, and white and black striping down the side, and it's the Vikings and the Irish here from the Smoky Valley Gym for the right to go to state tournament next week at Emporia, a place that we've been last couple of years. We'd like to make it 3 in a row. Good crowd here for Chapman tonight, but our band, I love our band. My goodness.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Chapman brought their band as well, so it's a little bit of battle of the bands. They're both up top of the
I didn't even see there.
6 or 7 rows. They've kind of been playing, simultaneously together a little bit, so it's always good to see school spirit, whether it's Chapman. Obviously the stands here are pretty packed as well behind us, and it's always just good to see community support both for Chapman and Smoky Valley.
Oh, absolutely. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Even behind us, it's pretty full. Across the way, it's pretty full. And we are ready for action. Ben Weldy will be jumping against Jackson. Vikings will be shooting on the east end of this east and west court. Sit back and enjoy tonight's game, and we are ready to go. Tip controlled by Chapman underway. With Silk ends up with it. Out top goes over to number 32, Regal. Back on the side to Jackson. He's their leading scorer. Around it goes to number 24, Loy. Vikings man-to-man on this first possession. Dribble drive out to Wasilk. Tipped away by Reinert. Saved by Wasilk. Right out near half court. No score yet. Chapman still has the first possession. Jackson guarded by Jacob Adams. Picks up his dribble. Goes on the far wing. Dribble out top. Comes back across. Still knocked away by Brett Heitschmidt, and turnover. Chapman. Good hands by Brett Heitschmidt.
Yeah, great job of the Vikings defense. Chapman never really had a great look at the basket on the first possession there for
Reinert coming up slow. They like the 1-3-1 zone. Vikings play that a lot themselves, so they know how to play against it. Ball tipped away, out of bounds by number 32, Regal. It'll stay with the Vikings. Brett Heitschmidt saying, calm down, Zach. Don't get in any frustration. It's always a little bit of nerves coming into the start of the game. Up it goes to Abel from Reinert. Back to Reinert. Inside to Adams. Out to Heitschmidt. 3-ball corner. In and out. No good. Rebound Regal for the Chapman Irish. 1 minute gone. No score. Either team. Well, Silk has it. Gets it off on the wing to Regal. Looking for Loy. Has him now to Jackson. Goes Silk. Out top of the Vikings man-to-man. This possession, they like zone a lot too, but they're going man here on the early going. Jackson off the goes to Loy, only senior on the team. With it, number 33, Colston. Lob inside to Jackson. He's double teamed quickly. Now back to Wasilk. 3-ball, good. One of those you hope he doesn't have a good night, and he knocks down his first one. That's a confidence.
Yeah, and Nick went over to double Jackson. Just a quick flash, and Jackson noticed it, threw it right back to Wasilk, and hit the 3.
So 3-0 Chapman. They get the first points on the board. Reinert double team. A lot of hands there. No foul called. Here's Weldy, far side corner. Out top to Reinert. He looks at a 3-ball. In and out. No good. Rebound Jackson. He's a strong rebounder inside. Got a lot of leaping ability. Silk. Get over to Regal. Around to Jackson. Touching it. Everybody on their team. Colston. Back to Jackson out top. 5:50 to go. Chapman with a 3-0 lead. Here's Loy, a dribble drive. Pulls up. Get out to Regal. Around near side to a Silk. Looking underneath Jackson. He threw the ball before he was even open. Good defense, Adams. Here's another 3-ball. It's off. Rebound, Ben Weldy. Good defensive rebound for the Vikings. Here's Reinert looking to pick up the pace. Heitschmidt. Back it goes to Reinert. Drive, kick out, Abel. Weldy. They're quick on the defense, is Chapman, and there's a ball to Heitschmidt. Vikings turn it over.
Yeah, Smoky Valley looks a little lost. They're kind of making a little bit, maybe trying to feel out the game a little bit, not making a lot of quick decisions. Maybe it's always tough on these back-to-back nights trying to figure out what these teams are going to do and how you're going to adjust and play, and we'll see what Smoky Valley can do here in the next few minutes.
Their quickness on defense is pretty impressive so far, Chapman. They've got quick feet. Wasilk has it against Reinert. His drive in the lane. Shot, just a dump off to Loy. Loy has the basket, and it's 5-0. Chapman at the 4:57 mark. Vikings yet to score. Here's Abel with it. Off to Heitschmidt. Back to Abel. Near side. Over goes to Reinert. Out top. Still no score for the Vikings. Chapman with a 5-0 early lead. Oh, there's a trip. Zach Abel ends up with the ball. Reinert drive. Oh, and there's going to be, a block. Oh, my goodness. Coach Bell very upset with the officials. One official comes over and says, calm down a little bit. That's Jackson, their big guy. That certainly could have gone either way.
Well, it might have been a little bit of a makeup call. Zach Abel got tripped there, and for some reason there was not a call.
Yeah.
Nick was driving, and Jackson did slide over a little bit late. They could have called player control on Nick, but I think it was the right call. Maybe biased, but I think it was right.
Well, we're always biased. We know that. Here's Adams with it at the free throw line, but he's double-teamed quickly. They're double-teaming a lot. There's Reinert on the dribble in. Wow. There's a lot of contact with Jackson again. He could have got a second foul there.
Yeah, it's a great job there by Nick. Go
right at him.
Obviously, a very emphatic block there by Jackson, but go right at him. Try to get the second foul. The worst thing that's going to happen is it's your ball underneath.
Yeah. Abel with it, looking, gets into Weldy. Weldy up and no. Rebound Chapman. Weldy tried to draw the contact and then get the little finger roll over the top. Vasilic got away with that, calming the ball. Here's Loy, three. It's in and out. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Strong rebound. Good box out by Adams.
Very well.
4:12 to go. Vikings yet to score. Reinert has it tipped away, gets it back, and then there's a foul on Loy.
Yeah, a little, Lloyd had it out top. A little almost sluggishness a little bit now by the Vikings. We talked a little bit about this, that maybe, it is a 32-minute game, and maybe Smoky Valley's just kind of feeling into it. And Chapman's, pumped up or excited what's going on, Substate championship game. So I looked at Smoky Valley start being a little bit more aggressive off the dribble, maybe a few screens up top in this 1-3-1, and try to get some openings, in the middle of the lane if they can.
You can see why they like their 1-3-1. They're really good at it. Ball knocked away again on the inlet pass. Reinert with the dribble drive baseline, shot up, blocked, hustle for it. Ben Weldy travels. I didn't see the travel. I wasn't watching his feet. I was watching up top. But Chapman turns the Vikings over for the second time. Vikings have turned Chapman over once. Chapman leads it on the scoreboard 5-0. Yet to score are the Vikings. There's 3:40 left to go in this quarter. The big guy for Chapman is checked in. Shot missing. Rebound Vikings. Lovett is the big guy, and he missed his first shot. Here comes the Reinert. Reinert on the dribble. Gets double teamed. Gets it over to Heitschmidt. Off to Lane Schrog, who checked in a moment ago along with Blake Hebel. Schrog with it over to Weldy. Now this team quickness is something we haven't seen this good. I don't know if they can keep it up for a whole game or not. We'll see how the 32 minutes works out. Here's Weldy, three, baseline, in and out, no good, but Schrog with a nice putback.
Great job there by Lane Schrog that crashed the boards right down the middle of the lane. No one picked him up and caught it right off the tip.
Beautiful play by Lane Schrog off the bench. Wasilk gets it off to Loy. 5-2 Vikings. Loy's shot won't crawl in. Over the back, yep. Foul on Lovett. Ben Weldy with great position.
Yeah, great job there by Weldy. You get number 35, Levette, his first balance. It's a big thing for Smoky Valley if they can get Chapman in foul trouble. Chapman's not very deep, so if they can get send a few guys to the bench for a few extra minutes, it's going to be bode well for Smoky Valley.
3 fouls on Chapman. Vikings have yet to foul. Schrog with it. Over it goes to Reinert. Reinert dribble drive baseline up and no, but Ben Weldy there blocked no. And a reach-in foul on Schrog. That's okay. That's a good foul.
Actually, not a bad foul by Lane Schrog.
And Reinert's down on the baseline. Looks like he's got a cramp or something. We'll see. 2:27 left to go. First quarter, Vikings trail 5-2. And we may be a little bit, Jared, let's take a 30-second timeout.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Don Bingston is your local Farm Bureau Financial Services agent and is proud to be in his 12th year as voice of the Vikings. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes, in all your activities this year.
Welcome back as Nick Reinert comes off the court. It might be his shoulder. He's had a separated shoulder problem that hasn't flared up all year. Used to wear a little tape brace on it, but we'll see what comes out of this. He says, I'm all right. We'll see how he does, but he's a tough competitor. We know that, so we'll hope the best for Nick, and he's certainly an important cog in this Viking team. Off the bench coming in to replace for him is Zach Abel. So it's Abel, Heitschmidt, Schrog, Weldy, and Hebel on the court right now. Silk has it. Gets it off on the wing to Colton. Down it goes to Loy. Silk, baseline, Colton. Inside to Lovett. Kick out Loy. Loy with it, guarded. There's into Lovett, and he can't hang on to it.
Tough catch there for Lovett, but definitely fortuitous turnover for the Vikings here. See if they can get something going with just 2:08 left. Still down just 2-5.
Yeah, low scoring game here. When the Vikings were ahead 20-10 in their last game last night. And certainly looking for some offense. Here's Heitschmidt. If they get double teamed, the minute the person gets a pass for the Vikings, somebody's right in their face. So they got to move the ball a little quicker to get somebody open. Heitschmidt baseline three ball. Swish!
Great play there by Zach, able to bring the lower defender up and have a wide open look for Brett Heitschmidt there in the corner.
A 5-0 run for Chapman, answered by a 5-0 run for Smoky Valley. Here's with Silk, a little finger roll, got it to go. Got the roll on that one. 7-5 Chapman after the Vikings tied it up. Schrog with it on the dribble. And Loy's going to get called with the foul, and that's going to be his second.
Yeah, with the 1-3-1, the wing players for Chapman are up, probably about 10 feet from half court, so they're really kind of extending it a little bit, and the Vikings have kind of slowly but surely taken it up and allowed them to kind of stay in position. So if the Vikings can break that pressure immediately, it turns automatically into a 4-on-3, basically. So if they can get there, I think eventually, obviously, hopefully Nick is good enough to come back, and I think that's a place where they can exploit this.
Yeah, they met him right. They met Zach right there at half court. Schrog with it. That's why I say a couple of quick passes is all it's going to take to get somebody open. There's a kick, didn't get called. Schrog with it. Over it goes to Abel. Abel has the ball knocked away by Chapman, but stolen right back by Brumbaugh. Ball still loose on the floor. Everybody hustling for it. Whoa, we're going to get it. We're going to get somebody ejected here.
We got a foul here, I believe.
Well, Silk went in to go and started grabbing people off the pile. You can't do that. He can't. Oh, my gosh. They called the foul on Zach Abel. Unbelievable. Well, Silk got away with murder there. He jumped on the pile and started pulling people off. You can't do that. A little bit tense here. As they sorted out the scores table, called the officials over. They wanted to make sure what happened here on the call.
We're not sure if it was a jump ball first.
We're listening here to see what we can find out from the officiating crew. I thought they called a jump ball, right? So we'll see what they end up sorting out here. It's 7-5, and right now we think they're putting up a foul on somebody. On 24 for them. Well, they called Loy for the foul. They're good to go. Do you know any more than you did? Anyway, we're back in play. Chapman with the ball. They lead 7-5. Colton with it outside, gets it off to Jackson. Jackson's been quiet now ever since that early little surge. With it, it's Silk. Back it goes to Jackson. Jackson over to Colton. Or Regal. Regal with it now. Over to with Silk. Good hustle by Lane Schrog to make the difference up. Lane, tough pass into Jackson. Baseline. Guarded by Adams. Gets it off to Colton. Regal around to Silk. 25 seconds left to go with Silk. Dumped down to Jackson, but he threw it right to Lane Schrog, but it got back. And now we got a foul on Jackson.
Great job there by Lane Strong. He got beat on the dribble, which was okay. Jacob Adams came over to help to contest the shot. Lane Strong slipped right in front of Jackson, and the ball rounded up right in his lap. And fortuitous for the Vikings, I believe a foul was called on number 23, Jackson, his second of the first half.
Of the first quarter.
First quarter, excuse me. He's laughing about him and Jacob Adams are laughing because not sure there was much contact, but there might have been. We had that scrum in the middle of the court there with about 8 of the 10 players on the floor. That I think that maybe a couple quick whistles here to make sure nothing gets too aggressive.
They have to do that. They have to keep this in line. No question about that. Still 7-5, 20 seconds is all that's left.
Reinert is back in the game now as well for the Vikings.
Yeah, see how
it's a good sign.
And I think it's his left shoulder, so it wouldn't necessarily bother his, and he gets tripped up by Watkins. So the Vikings are going to be in a 1-and-1 here, and one more foul. 11.6 seconds left to go. Into Reinert from Heitschmidt. We'll see if we can get a 10-second play. Vikings trail by 2. Reinert elevates, shot, no, rebound. Winholtz wanted a foul. Coach wanted a foul, and that's going to hit the barrier and be no good. Well, low-scoring game. Chapman 7, Smoky Valley 5. We'll be back with quarter number 2 right after this.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the...
Years old. They're able to go back-to-back nights for 32 minutes full steam if they need to. So we'll see if the Vikings can maybe make a few adjustments here against the Chapman zone that's really slowed them down. They haven't been able to get in a rhythm on offense, and it's something that I think that needs to happen for Smoky Valley.
First possession belongs to the Vikings. Winholtz, Brumbaugh, Weldy, Heitschmidt on the court. Heitschmidt, Reinert to Brumbaugh, back to Reinert. Just underway, second quarter. They're kind of staying in their zone. Reinert way outside. There's a reach-in foul on Lovett. Well, that's 2 on Lovett. Lovett's got 2, the big guy. Jackson, their other big guy, got 2.
And we're also shooting 1-on-1. And that was one of the coach. Saw the coach whistle the foul, and the coach just shook his head. One of those, Weldy caught the ball with his back to the basket, 18 feet from the basket, and Levette's trying to reach in and try to poke it away. They're
just so aggressive.
Just a foul that, you would wish to have back, and now that Levette gets subbed in by number 4, who's about 7 inches shorter.
Yeah, they got certainly a short lineup. Now the Vikings can certainly try to work it inside. Weldy's free throw, got the roll. He's a 79% free thrower, the best free thrower for the Vikings. Reinert is probably, I haven't updated this for a couple games, he's probably up there near 80% because he's made a lot of free throws down in the last couple of games. Second free throw, no. 7-6 now. For the Vikings, trail by 1. Rago gets it off to Loy. Loy gets it off to Watkins. Watkins almost went back door. Heitschmidt trying to get a steal. They had a chance. There's a long three by Wasilk, rebounded by Colson. He saw the air ball coming. He read that really well. Here's Watkins on the dribble, gets it off to Colson around to Loy. Rago, baseline corner, right in front of the ESPN Smoky Valley group. Watkins on the dribble, no. Rebound, Brumbaugh. Good Viking defense in that half-court set. Reinert off to Brumbaugh. Or that's Winholtz, pardon me. Cross court, Heitschmidt. Underneath Weldy. Beautiful pass.
Yeah. Great job by Smoky Valley. Great job by Winholtz to throw it across the court. And then a great shot, another diagonal pass there by Hapschmidt to Weldy right under the basket.
Beautiful pass by Heitschmidt. Here's Loy on the dribble drive. It's an awkward shot, but he got it to go.
Yeah, tough shot there. Going to his left, shooting it up to the right. It looks like a timeout, Chapman, a 30-second timeout.
We'll keep this one right here, thanking our sponsors, Harry Malari, Viking Auto, R&R Excavating, Scott's. Contact Maury Loader for your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Gallant Tire and Auto, Lindsberg Family Dental, Dower Welding, CNL Heating and Cooling, Arn Reinert CPA, Art Church, Bank of Tescott, and People's Bank and Trust. Also want to thank First Bank Kansas, a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley basketball. First Bank, pardon me, First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson. Wow, take a breath. 9-8.
Yeah, these championship games, every point you get, it gets you that much closer to state. So that's why you can cut the tension a little bit of knife, even if it is, 6:30 left in the second quarter.
Vikings with the basketball in the front court, down by 1. They still double teaming aggressively. Brumbaugh, very close to, I don't know if his foot stepped on that line or not. Here's Reinert with the dribble drive. It's good.
That's one thing with the two post players for Chapman out. Nick has a lot of opportunity to be able to take the ball and drive.
Regal 3 missing with Silk, the little guy. We didn't box out well at all. He's so active and he throws such really weird passes once in a while, but so far they've found the place where they're supposed to go. And there's another weird shot by Loy. Loy gives Chapman an 11-10 lead. Weldy to Heitschmidt, baseline. There's a foul on Wasilk, or must have had all ball. Wasilk on the dribble drive. Wasilk in, and that time the Vikings get called for the foul.
Yeah, Wasilk's kind of been all over the court. Last minute, he's done a few things, penetrating kick.
Oh, wow. I thought they couldn't have called that on Brumbaugh. They called it on Weldy. It's just his first. Team third. Wasilk at the free throw line. Had a 3 and a 2 early. Got 2 free throws coming in now. And that one, no good. Chapman's coach will see if he is going to keep his 2 big guys on the bench. I thought maybe he'd substitute them in, offense for defense a little bit, but so far none of them going in. Second free throw, good by Wasilk. 1 of 2. Vikings trail by 2. Reinert into the front court finally. They get that double team going right as soon as they get to the ball. And Adams shot off the glass. Too strong. Gets his own rebound up and good.
Great job by Jacob Adams. Shot it. No one even touched him or thought about boxing him out and just stepped right into it. Got his rebound and put it right back up again.
Chapman gets one of their big guys up to the bench. Jackson with those 2 fouls coming in. They got to have some size. They're not good without their size. Even though the Wasilk's a great player, he can't do it all himself. Mm-hmm. Vikings go 3-2 drop zone now. Around it goes to Watkins from Wasilk. Watkins over to Loy. He's had a couple of really funny inlet drives and funny shots, but he's got him to go. Wasilk back to Loy. Baseline to Colton. Loy, Wasilk, Watkins. 4 of them touch it in 4 passes. Loy, 3-pointer, deep 3. It's good. Wow.
It's a great defensive possession there, and it's still a contested 3 by Chapman, but just sometimes good shots fall through.
Absolutely. Got to have a little luck on your side once in a while. Adams with it, double teamed. They double teamed quickly. The Vikings just have to throw some quicker passes. Heitschmidt, 3-ball, corner, in and out, no good. Rebound Adams, up and good.
Again, Chapman's really struggling with both their big guys out. We've been able to do some great things on offense, and hopefully we can keep that going.
We can't find the bottom of the net on a 3-pointer, but they've found a couple. Heitschmidt does have 1, an Arn Reinert CPA 3-pointer. Loy out top with it. He's been their scorer so far tonight. Those 2 run the show with Silk and Loy. And they get some help from Jackson on a few games. That's their 3-man punch. All on the baseline to Regal. Out top to Loy. Another 3. No. Rebound Heitschmidt. Quickly up to Hebel. Blake Hebel. And no. Rebound Adams. Shot up. Good.
That's 3 possessions in a row. Jacobs Adams has had about a 2-footer for possession. So another offensive rebound by Adams to put Smoky Valley, I believe, their first lead of the game, 16-15.
They tied it up once. This is their first lead. Colton kick out to Loy. Here's another 3-ball. No. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Quickly up to Reinert. Reinert looking up for Abel. To Heitschmidt. 3-ball. Shot. No. Rebound. Kingman. Chapman. Knocked away by Zach Abel. Watkins didn't see Abel coming from behind. Zach Abel with a nice steal. Quickly over to Reinert. Reinert looking. Reinert on the dribble drive. Knocked out of bounds. Smoky Valley basketball remains. Vikings with a 1-point lead, 16-15. Shoo!
I think that was about 2.5 minutes of straight possession there, because Jackson came in, I believe, looked to check in about the 4.5-minute mark, and we got 2:49 left.
Well, they get their big guy back in. They go way back court to Nick, which is fine. 2:48 to go. Vikings just need a couple more quick passes, and we'll see what we can get going. They got to stop Adams inside. Here's Abel. He'll launch a 3-ball. It's off. Rebound. Jacob Adams has it. Off to Reinert. Reinert drive. Why wasn't there a foul? Yeah, everybody's saying, why wasn't there a foul? Oh, my goodness. Jackson's not backing down.
He's not backing down, and I'm surprised their coach isn't telling him, because that's that obviously we've seen how detrimental that can be to their offense and their entire team with Jackson on the bench.
Reinert with it from Abel right into Jacob Adams. Shot up and good. Jacob Adams has got 8 points.
Yeah, great job there by Nick Reinert to notice that. He had... Go ahead. It's kind of just a crazy game at the moment. We're trying to get our breath here.
Vikings man-to-man on this possession. Inside it goes to Jackson. Now he's outside of the lane. Spin move. That's a travel. With Silk with a 3. Too strong. Rebound, Blake Hebel. Their outside shooting's finally cooling off. There's Heitschmidt. And there's foul number 3.
You get guys like Nick Reinert in the game that just understand that, right? We had Heitschmidt streaking down the right side, and Jackson was the only one back as well. If Jackson didn't foul him, that was going to be 2 points, and I'm sure the coach would rather have 2 points.
Absolutely, let him go.
Yeah, Nick noticed it, threw it right to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt, being smart, went right at Jackson, drawing the foul, and he did exactly that.
Man. 1:51 remaining. Vikings up 19-15, which doesn't seem a lot, but this is a 7-0 run for the Vikings. Second free throw missing by Heitschmidt. The 1:50 mark. Lovett has come in with his 2 fouls, replacing Jackson, so they kept their size in, which is what I thought they would do, is rotate those guys in every minute or so. Watkins with it outside. Off it goes to Colton. Around 2 was Silk. Guarded by Good to see Nick Reinert playing well with whatever that injury was. Watkins with the dribble drive. Oh, they wanted to carry the ball but didn't get it. Colson with it outside. Guarded by Heitschmidt. A long 3. Swish. Wow.
I don't think even Heitschmidt even knew he was going to shoot it. They looked hesitant the entire possession. All of a sudden, just jacked one up and made it.
Man, what an entertaining first half it's been. It's a 1-point Viking lead. We have the ball. Off it goes to Reinert. Back to Abel. Into Weldy. Weldy. Kick out to Hebel. Blake Hebel to Zach Abel. No. Wow. Could have been a good look. Here's Silk with the pass down to Colton. Oh, gosh. What a shot.
Great pass there by Silk. Do that from about 3/4 court right under the basket. And a 2-point, which gave Chapman back the lead with just 40 seconds left.
Heitschmidt, 3-ball, corner, no. Rebound, Zach Abel, knocked out of bounds. Oh, there's a foul. There's going to be a foul on with Silk, and that's going to be his second, isn't it? No,
just his first foul, but that'll send Zach Abel to the line 1-on-1. That's a 19th foul for Chapman. Just 33 seconds left here in the first half.
Zach Abel at the free throw line. Got it to go. Back to one senior that's been struggling at the free throw line this year. Good to see him make that shot. Blake Hebel out. Carson Winholtz in. 20-20. And a miss. 20-20 is our score. With 30 seconds left. Loy out top with it. Goes over to Regal. Off to Colton with Silk. And then a steal by Zach Abel. And good. 15 seconds left. Zach Abel with a beautiful steal. Inside it goes to Levitt. Levitt shot blocked by Weldy. Oh, wow. Great block by Ben Weldy. That's his second foul.
That was tough. That was a tough one. It kind of went up, and Levitt did a great job. Weldy just had one hand up, but Levitt went right into that hand, and it looked a little worse than I think it was, but nonetheless, it's a second foul on Ben Weldy, and Chapman's to the line with 7 seconds left.
See if this Levitt's any good free throw shooter. He's not a great field goal shooter, but he nails the free throw. 21, trying to jinx him. He can tie it up with 7.4 seconds to go. Vikings will have a chance to get a shot off. Barton has checked in for Chapman. Wow. That's a flat, no arch shot.
A 10-foot rim, and I think the highest point of the ball was 11 feet on that one.
But he's 6'7", and with that way at the top that he shot it. Vikings with the last chance here to get the ball. Reinert with it on the drive. Shot up and good! Nick Reinert hits a three with a second left, and the Vikings take a 25-22 halftime lead. We'll be back to wrap up this half for you after this timeout.
Did you know you can purchase custom-etched glassware at the Hemsloyd? It's a perfect one-of-a-kind gift. Hemsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley and Bethany Athletics since 1984.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Ask for KSHSAA.
Warning. Free KSHSAA checking may lead to a rise in disposable income due to cashback on everyday debit card purchases, refunds on ATM fees, and elimination of so-called service fees. Increased satisfaction may result while operating your debit card. If you suffer from chronic money loss, search for KSHSAA online.
This has been a financial health advisory courtesy of KSHSAA. It's like money medicine for your shopping habit.
Offered locally at the Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
This is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic halftime show. A first half recap, scores from around the area, and keys to a second half win. This is Smoky Valley Vikings basketball on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. Don Bings along with Mark Bings. We got Jared Bass working the controls for us once again, doing a great job. And the Vikings have a 25-22 lead. They were down 7-5 after one quarter, but it was a very entertaining quarter. They outscored them 20-15 in that quarter, and I think we're in for a barn burner the rest of the night.
Yeah, most likely. The Chapman's got that 1-3-1 zone that's really stifling Smoky Valley a little bit. We got a little bit more movement once we started to make some shots, but it just slowed the game down enough to where we can't get into the rhythm on offense. I think Smoky Valley's man-to-man offense is much more fluid than their zone offense is. So I think hopefully Doug and Coach Snyder can come up with something at halftime to kind of get some freedom, get some dribble penetration, and hopefully, get this game moving a little bit quicker for the Vikings.
Scoring went like this for Chapman: 2 for Levitt, 5 for Colson, 6 for Wasilic, and 9 for Loy, who came up big with those two kind of funky shots across the middle of the lane there, but that's the way it went. For the Vikings, they had 6 players that scored, 2 for Lane Schrog, 3 for Zach Abel, 3 for Ben Weldy, 4 for Brett Heitschmidt, 5 for Nick Reinert, and 8 for Jacob Adams, who, once their two big guys got in foul trouble, went to town inside.
Yeah, he really did. Chapman really struggled in our offenses. That's really kind of when Smoky Valley started to get it on offense. Nick penetrated a few times, got one little layup, and then we had a couple missed shots, but that was okay because we had Jacob Adams down below. We got, I think, his 8 points. I think 3 of them are on offensive rebounds, and just you guys got 8 points, and combined distance is 8 feet from the basket with all 4 of those baskets. So he's done a great job of just sitting down there. And hopefully, that can continue with Chapman still in foul trouble, even though we are going into the second half.
Yeah, Jackson has 3 fouls, so that's a big one, no question about that. Time now to look at our impact performance of the first half, brought to you by the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, offering comprehensive sports medicine care from education to preventing sports injuries to sports performance and preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Dr. Timothy Hawks and his team of physical therapists and athletic trainers and physician assistants are dedicated to providing the highest quality of sports medicine care. Well, we got some candidates for sure for that, but my vote will go to Jacob Adams because he wasn't getting himself in any trouble. And when he got the opportunity, he took advantage of it, like you say, with those offensive rebounds and putbacks. And he had 8 points. He's my first half impact performer.
Yeah, he did a great job. You got to exploit some weaknesses that Chapman may have when those are in foul trouble. And Jacob Adams did a great job. And this is a home Substate game, and it's always those types of plays there. Smoky Valley was a little lethargic there, trying to get back in the game, get things going, and the crowd behind us definitely perked up a little bit. And as players, that you can feel the momentum, you can feel that crowd noise. So something to really look forward to in the second half. And if a player like Jacob Adams can keep doing that, I think that bodes well for Smoky Valley.
Chapman already out on the court to get some shooting in for their second half. Vikings still in the locker room. 4:40 remains until the beginning of the second half. We'll take a timeout. We come back, we'll have more thoughts for you. The Vikings lead at 25-22 back after this.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
Direct access physical therapy at Lindsborg Community Hospital means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order. Sports rehab, post-joint replacement, joint and back pain, or decreased mobility, you can schedule an appointment for evaluation and treatment. Mark, Robin, Eric, and Pam will get you on your way to better health and activity. Call Lindsborg Hospital at 227-3308 and ask for physical therapy. Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. EmsloyGlassDecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't find anywhere else. Emsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley athletics since 1984.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. We had a joint pep band conference there. They both bands were joining, and maybe the director knows our director because they seemed like they were playing the same song, obviously, and doing a nice job. So it's really entertaining to watch those pep bands go at it.
Yeah, and it's really hard for us to listen to each other when we're going, a small venue like this. But that's okay. We talked about that. It's good to have that type of atmosphere here for these games and know, talk about community support. And Chapman being on a one-night basis. Hey, let's go support our boys. About 45 to an hour away, and good to see both, like I said, both crowds here tonight and making this just as good as an atmosphere as it can be.
Oh, absolutely. And the Vikings look to come out in the second half after a sluggish start. I don't know if it was so much sluggish on point scoring as it was the defensive pace of the game. Both teams came out with such intense defensive pressure.
Yeah, both teams are really, using that, championship game atmosphere. Maybe I haven't seen either team play only one game this year. So, Smoky Valley maybe was kind of feeling them out a little bit, but Chapman came out firing. They were on all cylinders. They're a really scrappy team. They penetrate, kick. They do some crazy things on offense. They're kind of 4 out, 1 in. They like to drive and dribble, try to beat you off the dribble. If you help off, they're going to kick. So, which makes for a lot of scrambling on defense by Smoky Valley. So, really important for Smoky Valley to stay in front of their man as much as they can this half. And then on offense, maybe, try to push the ball a little bit more and not allow Chapman to get set in that 1-3-1 defense to kind of get them scattered so Smoky Valley can get some easy looks again with Jacob Adams and, keep tacking onto that lead here early in the third quarter.
If they're going to meet the ball at half court like they've done with that wing player, you basically got 2 defenders, like you mentioned, out near half court. So a couple of quick passes should enable the Vikings. So we'll see if they coach them up a little bit for that in the start of the second half. We'll see who comes out in the second half for Chapman, if Jackson is going to come out with his 3 fouls or if they'll put somebody else in. So looks to me like it's going to be the big guy, Lovett, going to start the game second half out there. The Vikings will most likely start the same way they started the game, and we're ready for the start of the second half here. Vikings again with a 25-22 lead. State tournament berth number 3 would be on the line for the Vikings. And we won it back in 82, undefeated team, and I'm not sure, we talked about that a little bit before. We've been to the state. You went twice as a player. Chase Dipple and Seth Nelson went a couple of times after you graduated. I don't know if we've won.
Yeah, we were thinking we're definitely 0 for our last 5 for sure. We're not. So if anyone knows out there, I guess, text my dad. I don't know.
Let us know. It will be Lovett out top for Chapman. Gets it off to Silk. Baseline Loy, 3-pointer. Good. Wow. Just like that, they tie it up. Chapman gets the first bucket. We went almost 2 minutes without a score in the first start of the game, and they got one within 15 seconds in the start of the second half. Here's Ben Weldy. He looked at a 3 but didn't trigger. Off to Reinert. Reinert with the dribble. Off to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt, dribble drive. Penetration, no. He's going to kick it out to Reinert. Reinert gets caught immediately. Boy, they just don't hesitate. There's a shot inside by Weldy. Missing. Rebound. Got to get a little more air on it to get that. He used glass, but didn't get it to go.
Yeah, a little bit of a struggle there. Should have just gone up. He tried to get the third foul there on Lovett, but I think it would have been better off if he just would have tried to straight up score instead of trying to draw the foul.
Regal looking inside for Lovett. Goes in there. Adams is guarding him. Shot up. Missing. Rebound. Wow. Viking fans want a foul on Lovett. He is all over Jacob Adams. I can't believe he didn't get a foul called. Reinert. Nice pass to Weldy.
Great job there by Nick. Nick penetrated, was going up the lane, kind of away from the basket. Weldy was streaking down to the baseline. Nick, kind of a little no-look pass there for an easy 2 for Weldy.
Regal to West Silk. Silk with it, looking in for a time. Back off and goes to Lovett. Shot, good. Lovett stepping up here big time. Tie game at 27 all. 6:22 to go. Reinert slowly into the front court now, gets it off to Abel. Back to Reinert. Inside to Adams. Back to Reinert. 3 ball. No, but Abel with a putback. No. Rebound Loy. And again, so much contact under there and no foul called. Unbelievable. Lovett should have 4 fouls right now. There's Loy with a 3. That's way off. Missing and rebound Jacob Adams. Quickly up to Reinert. 27-27 is our score. Weldy wanted to trigger a 3 but didn't. He'll take a dribble. Goes into Adams. Kick out to Reinert. Reinert with the dribble drive. Penetration up, and this time there will be a foul. And this time it will be on the big guy. He picks up his 3rd.
Like we talked about earlier, Nick's just a heady player. He's a senior. He knows what's going on. He knows Lovett has 2 fouls and how detrimental that would be to have 2 of their post players with 3 fouls, and he takes it right at him. Had a very good chance at an 8-1 there, and makes the first free throw there.
Vikings up 28-27. And Jackson, they'll start doing their rotation now because they don't have any choices with both of them with 3 fouls. And as athletic and
it's hard for him to not play hard, I guess is what you're trying to say. He's a very aggressive player, as Chapman is, so it's a tough thing for a player like that to
calm down.
To tell him to not contest a shot or not do something.
West Silk has it baseline, far side corner. Now drive to the block, pass to Jackson. Jackson guarded by Adams. Kick out, knocked away by Abel. Abel with the steal. Abel with the layup. Good.
Great hustle play. You know, Zach Abel knocked it away and kind of split the 2 Chapman guys at a full head of steam and an easy layup to put the Vikings up 4.
Well, Silk was going the other way. He's got a funny shot when he delivers it, but it's good. And a 30-second timeout by coach of Chapman. 31-29 Vikings lead. 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
People's Bank & Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank & Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Back at Smoky Valley Gym. Don Binks along with Mark Binks and Jared Bass working the controls for us once again. That's 2 nice steals and layups by Zach Abel.
Yeah, you know, there's times to take chances in a you know, when you're in a defensive setting and making, you know, I talked to Snyder a little bit last night. I felt like they were a little too aggressive on some of those areas, and Zach's picked his spots wisely for 2 easy buckets, which has got a little maybe been the difference right now for the Vikings.
Reiner looked to go inside, but didn't go. Colson and Watkins pressuring outside. Now Loy around it goes to Reiner from Abel. Baseline Heitschmidt inside to Weldy. Weldy trying to get it to Shaw or to Abel, does, and a turnover Vikings. And they're trying to get it back, but they don't. Vikings turn it over for only the 5th time in the whole ball game, first of this half. There's another turnover. I don't know who caused that one.
Jacob Adams watched.
Here's Heitschmidt.
Silk throwing it.
A ball stolen away by Wasilek in the bottom. Wasilek on the dribble drive. Backwards pass. There's that funny-looking pass again. Here's Lloyd, 3. No. Yeah.
I think that hit the rim about 7 or 8 times, and now Chapman with that 3 takes the lead 32-31 with 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd.
Wonderful soft touch by the guy, by the senior. And he's a senior. Here's Weldy. Too strong. No. Rebound, Jacob Adams. The little guy, Watkins, went up and got it against Jacob. Brought it down. Chapman by 1 with the ball. With Silk. Off to Colson. Around to Loy. Around to Watkins. Watkins dribble drive. Now pulls it out. Colson. Loy. Inside to Jackson. Jackson jumps up. Shot. Boy, they got it soft on the lane or on the rim. I have that as his first points. I don't know if I'm right or not.
Could possibly be. He's been in foul trouble, you know, almost the entire game.
Here's Reiner, 3 ball. No. Rebound, Zach Abel in the right place at the right time once again. Comes over to Nick. Nick with it. Baseline to Heitschmidt. He'll launch a 3 ball. Good! Arn Reiner, CPA 3-pointer by Brett Heitschmidt, ties it up at 34 all at the 3:04 mark.
It was Silk with a kind of a volleyball spike line 3. Misses, and Brett Heitschmidt has the rebound. Oh, a great pass there by Nick Reiner from the top of the key to Weldy underneath.
Beautiful.
And the Vikings are up 36-34. Great pass in the 1-3-1 zone. Saw it and hit it.
Well, Silk gets the... Wow. Nick Reiner... Well, Silk got that one to go somehow and drew the foul from Nick Reiner.
You know, they always talk about some rules that maybe you see on TV. You know, that was one of those where Silk took it right into Nick and hit Nick. It wasn't in the shooting process of shooting. In the NBA, yes, that's an and one. At Smoky Valley Gymnasium, that is not an and one.
No kidding. Unbelievable. It gives them ties the game up at 36 and gives them a 37 lead. 37-36 Chapman. Off it goes to Lane Schragus, checked in, and Blake Hebel. Oh, and the Vikings turned it over. No, a kick.
Yep, kick.
I wondered why Nick didn't catch that. It looked like it was coming right to him. So Viking basketball, 2:32 left to go, third quarter. Suddenly got quiet in here. It's been such a loud crowd tonight. Chapman with a good crowd here tonight. Adams has it to Reinert. Cross court to Cole Brumbaugh also checked in. Looking for Jacob inside. Now Cole has it. Cole with it on the dribble. Inside to Schrog. Lane Schrog on the dribble. Out to Reinert it goes. 2:13 left to go. Reinert with the drive. Shot. And a foul. Well, they're not going to call it on the big guy. They're going to call it on a reach-in on Colson. They're going to call it on Colson reaching in. Jackson, he had his mouth wide open. He said, how can it not be on me?
Yeah. Well, he was, again, Nick sees that, he's got a one, basically, in the 1-3-1, when you spread him out and that point guard, you're looking right at the big guy. And if you have an opportunity, he's maybe not looking, you can go right by him. And Nick did that again here. And now the wing dropped down and fouled Nick. And Nick now makes 1 of 2 here to tie the game up at 37. But just a smart play. And I think we're going to have a foul on the free throw here on Chapman.
I don't know who the foul is on.
The foul was on number 4, Watkins, I believe. It was on the free throw. When Nick shot it, Watkins came in and gave a pretty good forearm chuck to, I think it was maybe Lane Schrog. And the official was looking, it's one of those fouls maybe they wouldn't call normally, but the official was looking right at it, called it. And now Smoky Valley has an opportunity here to get a pretty big point possession.
Gets a possession out of it. Nick with the ball on the dribble. He'll bring it out top. He'll get double teamed. Come across to Cole Brumbaugh. Back to Nick. Inside to Jacob. His shot up off the glass. No. Rebound. I'm going to call Jacob for a rebounding foul. We haven't called a rebounding foul all night, and maybe we'll get one on the other end.
Yeah, it was one of those that, Jacob missed a little bunny right over Jackson and just maybe a little bit over-aggressive. And the Chapman fans, of course, cheer in exuberance that they, got a foul called against Smoky Valley.
Loy on the dribble, comes out to Regal. Over it goes to Colson. Looking inside for Jackson, goes to him. Jackson up and good. Wow. That's an awesome pass. I don't know if I'd throw that pass in there very often. But he threw it. He threaded the needle in there. Jackson went up and got it. And they take a lead by 2. Inside to Jacob Adams, up and good. Wow.
Great play there by Lane Schrog. Saw Jacob Adams with Jackson on his back streaking down the lane. And Jacob Adams, again, just a nice little 2-footer.
Jackson kicks it out to Colson. Wanted to trigger a 3. Didn't. Goes to Loy. Loy goes to Jackson. Shot up off the glass. No. Watkins comes in there and puts it in. Wow. His first basket of the game.
One of those little lapses by, I don't know if it was someone, Brumbaugh or Lane Schrog, just didn't box him out, beat him to right under the bucket and had an easy 2.
Inside to Adams at the free throw line. Out to Brumbaugh. Wanted to trigger a 3. Didn't. Goes out to Nick. He will trigger a 3. In and out. No good. Rebound. And there's a tie-up. Tie-up. Good job, Lane Schrog.
Lane kind of stuck around, a little sneaky. Just kind of snuck up right behind number 32. I believe it's Regal, and tied him up. I know, it's one of those calls. Whichever way it goes, the fan base is going to erupt, and you can tell each call here is getting a little bit more tense.
A little bit more respondents from the crowd, too. Chapman still up by 2, 41-39. Heitschmidt with it out top on the dribble. Near side it comes to Schrog. Schrog with the dribble. Almost loses the handle. Goes over to Reinert instead. 32 seconds left to go until the end of the third quarter. Vikings trail by 2 at home against Chapman. Substate berth. Here's Heitschmidt, 3 ball. Good!
Great job there by Lane Schrog. Was patient at the top of the key until Heitschmidt came open and did nothing but that net there by Brett.
With Silk with it. Around to Regal, around to Loy, around to Colson. Inside it goes to Levitt, the big guy. Shot up, missing. They can't call that if they don't call that on the other end. It's just a different official on the blocks when they got the ball. And it's just...
Yeah, you never know the situations here. It's always hard. And it's a tough call, when these kids are, battling and he's a little bit of a bigger kid. Levette's a taller, skinnier kid, so any movement that Ben has...
And he misses that flat free
against
throw.
them might look a little worse than it actually is.
Yeah. .7 seconds to go. Lovett with the chance to tie the game up at 42-all. And he does. Made one of two. 42-42. Vikings have 5.7 seconds to get a shot off. Strog to Weldy. Got to hurry. Weldy loses the handle and throws it, heaves it. Nick Reinert wanted it. They didn't get it to Nick. And the fourth quarter is on the next thing up. 42-42 after 3. We'll be back with that fourth quarter right after this.
Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
Setting ourselves up for an exciting fourth quarter. The Vikings, I have them only for 6 turnovers. I have Chapman for 10. Vikings got outscored that quarter. 42-all.
Yeah, definitely. Smoky Valley's taking pretty good care of the basketball. They have a few little lapses, but there's just been, it's been a slower paced game with that zone, and it's going to slowly pick up here, and, we've talked about the tension and how nervous a lot of people are getting. There's a steal by
Blake. And one. First play of the quarter, and Blake Hebel steps in the passing lane. I talked about it last night. He had some steals. He got the ball, and the injured player is Regal down there, but he got the steal, got it all the way to the baseline, got a layup for 2, and fouled. Blake Hebel has just been outstanding in these last 2 games.
A great job there by Nick Reinert. It's a little, it kind of goes unnoticed. He put a lot of pressure on Wasilk there up top, and Wasilk kind of, wasn't, when that happens, a lot of times you maybe don't pay attention to who you're throwing. You see a wide open jersey, and Hebel saw that, was waiting in the wings, and as soon as that Wasilk let that pass go, tipped it, and did a great job of taking it straight to the bucket and not, trying to do anything different. And Regal fouled him, hoping. Not sure he's still on the ground there. Looks like he'll be okay, but a great job nonetheless by Hebel, and hopefully he can get another point here to stretch the Viking lead out to 3.
And I think we're going to have to take an injury timeout. Jared, let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back right after this. Vikings up by 2, 44-42. Back right after this.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Well, they took him right into the training room area, so I don't know. It looked like he had an injury on his mouth or something.
Yeah, maybe a cut, a bloody nose. We're not really sure, but
there wasn't any blood on the court.
Okay,
so
okay.
We'll resume play here with Blake Hebel going for an and one. That was Regal that went out. So Hebel too strong on the free throw. Rebound Loy for Chapman. Loy brings it up court on the dribble. Carson Winholtz picks him up. Colson outside with it right by the Chapman bench. Colson drive, side of the lane, kick out to Watkins. Back to Colson. Back to Loy. Three-pointer off balance. Rebound Jackson. Kick out to Watkins. Around to Colson. His three-ball corner. Good. Wow.
Tough rebound there by Ben Wilde. He had him box out, but the athleticism of Jackson just changed that play, and a good kick out and a three by Chapman for them to take a 1-point lead.
They've got some different scorers that are able to hit those three balls. Here's Watkins on the dribble. There was a foul on Jackson over the back of Windholz with his arm, but he knocked it out of bounds, but Watkins missed a layup.
Yeah, good play there. Just to
pressure by Nick, not
to foul him, make a tough shot. He did make it, and that's maybe one of those calls that the official decided to give the ball to Smoky Valley instead of calling a foul on Jackson.
We wanted him to call that foul though. He hasn't picked up a third or a fourth after having three. Heitschmidt three-ball corner. Yes! Arn Reinert, CPA, three-pointer by Brett Heitschmidt. 47-45, Vikings up by 2. Jackson in the middle of the lane, kick out to Watkins. He wanted to trigger a three, but didn't. Loy was silk with it, looking for Jackson. Knocked away by Reinert. Reinert with the steal. Reinert quickly into the front court, crossover dribble, brings it out to the corner. Wants to go to Heitschmidt, his three ball, in and out, no good. Wow, that would have brought the crowd up. Here's Watkins, and a travel right here. Watkins travel.
He got a little excited. He saw another player streak, and he forgot to take a dribble. And he just traveled right in front of the official and right in front of his coach as well.
Is he a junior or a sophomore? That's all I wanted to look at.
Watkins is a junior.
Vikings up by 2. 6:23 left to go in this fourth and deciding quarter. Carson Windholz into Reinert. Baseline, Weldy. Weldy, shot. Good. Watkins flopped. I think Watkins flopped to try to draw the foul. And here's a 30-second timeout. It's a full timeout. 6:04 remaining in the fourth quarter. Vikings up 49-45. Back right after this.
Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale, one-of-a-kind establishment offers a wide variety of drink and food specials. Come try their jalapeno poppers, coconut chicken tenders, or their classic Monte Cristo. Then wash it down with an ice-cold beer or tall glass of wine. Farley's Bar and Grill at the corner of Lincoln and Main in downtown Lindsborg. Farley's, your game day headquarters for the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
It's going to be tense here the rest of the way, ladies and gentlemen. The Chapman coach, the official, came over and put a warning in the book for arguing with the official. So the next time he even argues at all, it's going to be a T. Chapman will have the ball here after the Vikings take a 4-point lead, 45-49. Reinert, Adams, Heitschmidt, Weldy, and Abel. The starting five, all seniors out there on the court. Loy, Polson, Jackson, Wasilk, and Watkins on the court for Chapman. Wasilk with it right in front of the Chapman bench. Dribble drive into the lane. Kick out to Watkins. Three ball. Wow, that was a funny looking shot. He missed, and Ben Weldy with the nice rebound. Reinert quickly into the front court on the penetration. Goes over to Abel. Back to Reinert. Inside to Adams. Little teardrop. No. Gets his own rebound. Out to Reinert. Three ball. Good!
Great job there by Jacob Adams. Got the offensive rebound. They say the best time to shoot a three is an offensive rebound. Nick stepped right into it and hit it.
And an air ball by Chapman.
It puts Smoky Valley up 7, 52-45 with 5:26 to go. And Smoky Valley have the ball now. Nick Renner taking it out.
It's an 8-0 run. We were down 44-45 when Chapman scored their 45th point. In the Reinert. Reinert dumping in to Adams. And one. Jacob Adams with the basket. 54, Smoky Valley. It's a 10-0 run.
I know I've said this time and time again, but, you know, Doug's done a great job, Snyder. He's changed it up a little bit, getting Nick Reiner the ball at the top of the key, underneath that 1-3, the top of the 1-3-1, being able to exploit Jackson a little bit. That's exactly what it did. Got Jackson in the air, free throw up, and good. got Jackson in the air, knew he couldn't do it, dropped it off to Jacob Adams. Jackson, being aggressive and athletic like we talked about, tried to block Jacob Adams as well. Got the foul, Jacob Adams made it, and now we made the free throw. The Vikings up 10.
44-45 at the 7-minute mark, and the Vikings now own a 55-45 lead at the 5:14 mark. And there Nick bumps into Wasilk too much. That'll be the second foul on Nick.
And we've done a really good job on Wasilk when Chapman was rolling really well. What they did was Wasilk was just kind of doing whatever he wanted. He was dribbling everywhere, shooting everywhere. And we've kind of locked him down a little bit, and it's changed their offense.
Lloyd kicks it out, stolen by Jacob Adams, but can't come up with a complete steal. Wasilk goes to Lloyd. Three-pointer baseline corner, no. Rebound, Heitschmidt. Strong rebound by Nick. Don't need to be in a hurry, Reinert. Reinert on the dribble, gets double-teamed out top. Comes over to Heitschmidt. Baseline to Abel. Abel back to Heitschmidt. Ooh, Weldy was open there momentarily. Now he goes to Weldy. Weldy baseline drive, and he'll go way outside with it. Stop and pop a three. Good! Arn Reiner, CPA three-pointer by Ben Weldy.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That ball rolled around, hit the backboard, went in for Weldy, and the Vikings are up 13.
It's a 14-0 run right now at the 4:15 mark. And Coach Chapman calls a timeout. They find a way to get in a rally. They find a way to go on a run. Every game, just like our girls have lost so many games this year with those runs, the Viking boys have found a way to put a run together, and this is one of those tremendous runs by the Viking offense.
Yeah, they've done a great job of finding quality open looks, and they've done a few, Hebel had this steal to begin the quarter. Nick's done a great job of penetrating, kicking. Ben Weldy's done a great job. Jacob Adams has done a great job. They're not playing outside their roles. Heitschmidt's had a couple threes here. Everyone's playing within the rules, and we talked about it. It's a 32-minute game, and usually, they always say, the tortoise and the hare, the slow and steady, the experience can win the race, and right now that's paying dividends for the Vikings.
Oh, big-time dividends, and the Vikings are just doing what they do best, not getting flustered. Blake Hebel with a big steal, like you mentioned. Zach Abel in the first half with a couple of big steals. Zach doesn't have a lot of points tonight, but his important points that he's gotten. Out of the timeout, 4:13 left to go. I don't know if I've said that for a while, but the Vikings have a 58-45 lead. And what's been a nail-biter, and I just mentioned, we're in for a barn burner here at the start of the fourth quarter, and the barn is on fire for Chapman. Here's Wasilk with a long three, and he nails it. Wow.
And we talked about one thing Chapman can do is shoot.
Yeah.
And they're very, very streaky. So this game's far, far from over.
Well, we saw it last night. They were down 11 to Concordia in the third quarter. And Wasilk just came in there dribbling, and the Vikings turn it over. Jacob Adams just didn't come and quite get the pass from Nick Reinert. Off it goes to Colson. Vikings' 8th turnover on the night. Here's Wasilk. Gets it off to Jackson. Good. Jackson. 58-50 all of a sudden. Which was a 13-point lead is now an 8-point lead. They got a 5-0 run.
And Chapman's now gone man-to-man. So the first time they've had an offense outside of the 1-3-1 zone all night.
Round it goes to Reinert from Weldy. Heitschmidt's the one that's got the advantage. He's got Wasilk on him. They need to go into Fred Heitschmidt if they can. See if they can set something up. Penetration. Reinert. Good.
And that's, I think, maybe one reason they haven't gone man-to-man. They don't have anybody that can guard Nick Reinert.
Here's Colson with a dribble drive. Colson elevates, shot, no. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Watkins mistimed his jump on that one to try to go up and get that rebound and put back. 60-50, 2:45 left to go in this ball game. Vikings with the ball. See if they can add to their 10-point lead. Abel loses the handle momentarily, but picks it up, and now a foul on Loy.
Yeah, and the Vikings, this is where experience comes into play a little bit, understanding, yes, you can't just not look at the basket and score, but, if you can milk a few seconds off the clock and know that Chapman's going to be really, really aggressive in the next 2.5 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
down
absolutely. 10. They got to come up with some steals. Man-to-man defense by Chapman. There's Reinert on the dribble. Reinert, and a foul. And if that's on Jackson, that's going to be his 5th. See who they call it on. Yep. That's 5 on Jackson. There's that experience of Nick Reinert going right to the big guy. I thought really they were going to call the foul on the little guy.
Yeah, it's a great job. We talked about in the 1-3-1 a little bit too, getting by that one guy. You got basically the big guy one-on-one. Same thing there. And Nick's a very, very intelligent player, being a big contributor for 4 years to draw that foul to make sure Jackson gets his 5th.
His 14th point of the night. All 4 seniors are in double figures tonight for Smoky Valley. When Zach Abel, the only senior that's not in double figures, but he's done what he normally does. Reinert misses the second, so he's missed a couple here in this second half. But the Vikings are up 61-50 with Silk with it. Kick out. Colson, 3-ball. Good. Wow. He's got 2 threes in this quarter. They're not going to go away. We can't play this last 2 minutes. Reinert on the dribble. Almost twisted his ankle on that dribble. Over it goes to Weldy. Back to Reinert. Minute 58 to go. Reinert on the dribble. Guarded by Watkins. Kick out to Weldy. Weldy back to Reinert. Chapman fan wanted to... Oh, there's a steal by Watkins. They're going to let that one go. A lot of contact there. Here's Loy with a 3. Too strong. Rebound, Ben Weldy. Good, strong rebound, Ben Weldy. Oh, wow. They could have gone on and had a 3-on-2 break, but they pulled it back. 1:30 left to go now. Vikings by 8. 61-53. Round it goes to Abel. Abel out top. Guarded by Loy. Round it goes to Heitschmidt. And coach wants a 30 or a full timeout. We'll step aside as well. 1:18 left to go. Vikings 61. Chapman 53. Back right after this.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business.
But their senior experience has really shown through.
Yeah, they've really played a smart, intelligent game. They've only had, I think, 8 turnovers maybe, and little things like that, not allowing, a few adjustments that we've seen Smoky Valley make have really changed the projection of this game.
Reinert dribbles through a double team after they inbound the ball. Weldy with it on the dribble. Gets double team from behind. Goes over to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt, baseline drive, little floater. Good! Heitschmidt with his 15th point. 63-53. 101 to go.
Great job there, though. Chapman had 4 guys above the 3-point line trying to steal it.
We get the rebound on the missed free throw. Reinert goes over to Abel. Under a minute we go. Heitschmidt back over to Abel. Back over to Reinert. Going to play keep away now for the next minute. And then he'll foul Zach Abel. Zach Abel will have 2 free throws.
I was getting back to that and one by Brett Heitschmidt. The Chapman was so aggressive. They have 4 guys above the free throw line. Nick Reinert, I think it was maybe Zach Abel, saw it, dumped it all the way to the baseline to Brett Heitschmidt. Just a little runner, about a 6-foot runner, made it an and one, and now Zach Abel steps to the line for a 1-on-1 here.
Makes. Nice job, Zach. 64-53. Heitschmidt and Weldy both come out. Hebel and Winholtz are 2 best defensive players. have to ask a couple to leave what they did. It's assistance from the athletic director of Chapman. Obviously somebody that's a parent probably of one of the players. I hope not. Zach Abel up to the free throw line and he misses the second. Rebound, Watkins gets it up to Colton. Colton on the dribble drive. Shot from 3. No. Rebound, Colton. Kicks it out to a new player in and out on the 3. No. Rebound, Chapman. Kick out again, another 3 ball. No. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Vikings can run out the last 24 seconds. They got a foul now. That free throw or that shot was on number 5. I don't even have a 5 in my book.
I don't even. Not one in the program. Maybe it's a.
So somebody checked in and had a couple of free throw or field goal attempts. 23.6 seconds remaining. Jacob Adams at the free throw line. Good. What a job these seniors. Second Jacob Adams free throw, got them both. Jacob Adams with 15 points. Brett Heitschmidt with 15 points. 14 points for Nick Reinert, 12 points for Ben Weldy. And what a way for these seniors to go out. Zach Abel with a great floor game and steals and free throws. And they've just done it all tonight. It's been just a tremendous team effort for, as we talked about, 32 minutes. That start of the fourth quarter, the Vikings went on that, what did I say, 14-0
run. Yeah, they did a great job. Just not getting too high, not getting too low. You know, Chapman was an aggressive team, and you knew they were going to go on a few runs, have a few, oh my gosh plays they were going to get the crowd into and say, oh my gosh, how can we beat this team? Or, they're going to do this all night to us. But Smoky Valley's done a great job of staying consistent. And eventually, they would prevail a little bit and have one of those big runs.
Colton, it's a long 3 ball. One of the subs going out for the rebound for. They put in all the Viking subs. Cade Snyder, Conrad Peterson, Carson Winholtz, Matt Lucas, and Blake Hebel to run this one out. Lucas with a shot, no. 1.1 seconds left to go. And somebody wanted to score last night.
Matt Lucas was in the front of the student section. I think he
got egged on.
Got egged on, peer pressure a little bit right there.
And the final attempt for Chapman goes up, and that is it. The Vikings win it 66-53 to advance to state next week at Emporia. We'll be back to wrap up this game after this timeout.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Beedard, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving.
For the Substate runner-up, the Chapman Irish. And your 4A Division II Substate Boys champions, the Smoky Valley Vikings. Congratulations.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At next week's state basketball tournament, White Auditorium in Emporia. Earnings will be out soon. Congratulations, Smoky Valley Vikings.
Coming up, the Salina Ortho Player of the Day. Scores from around the area, final stats, and an interview with the coach. This is Smoky Valley Vikings basketball on 95.5 The Rock.
And welcome back to the Bank of Tiscott postgame show. The Bank of Tiscott, generations of confidence, relationships for life. Member FDIC. And we'll have the Salina Ortho player of the game for you after a while. But the Vikings come away with a hard-fought 66-53 victory, down 45-44 to early fourth quarter. And they put on a 14-0 run, which really set the tone and really won the game for them.
Yeah, it really did. It's just one of those things that, we talked about Chapman and we read a little bit of the scouting report. They're a very, very streaky shooting team. And they were hitting some shots early and doing some great things. But eventually, Nick and some others, defended up on with Silk a little bit more. And Chapman missed a few shots. I mean, there was a few wide-open threes that they had hit early in the game. They missed a few. Smoky Valley hit a couple threes, but in the end, they did just a few of those little things in that 14-0 run, and we knew that was kind of going to be maybe the way it was going to be. Smoky Valley was just going to maybe out-endure Chapman for the entirety of the 32 minutes, and that's kind of how it played out.
It did. Scoring went like this. First for Chapman, Watkins with 2, 5 for Lovett, 6 for Jackson, and then in double figures, 11 Colson, 11 was Silk, and 12 for Loy. I may be a point off on a couple of those, but we'll total them up here again as we go. For the Vikings, Blake Hebel, 2. Zach Abel, 6. But what a great 6 points they were because of some of the steals he got and layups. And then 4 other seniors in double figures. Ben Weldy, 12. Nick Reinert, 14. Jacob Adams, 15. Brett Heitschmidt, 15. What a balanced scoring, what a balanced effort tonight, and they can be so proud of their effort here at home tonight.
Yeah, they really can. It was, you talk about having 5 seniors and, winning 2 sub-states the last 2 years at Clay Center and at Concordia, I believe it's right. So it's always good, for these seniors to win one at home and have, in front of the home crowd and, for these seniors to get one more opportunity to play in this gym and a great memory, definitely that'll hopefully last them a lifetime.
Well, you talk about as a senior player yourself, and winning it on the road is fun, but winning it on your home court, you got to do that when you were a junior, correct?
Yeah, it was a big opportunity for us. It was definitely maybe a few more people in the stands for that one, but we were definitely an underdog for that game, and having that home crowd definitely changed that game. That was, I can't remember how many years ago now, but it was a fun victory, and it's always fun to win. 06. So it's always fun to win in front of your friends. You got a few more of your family members here, and it's just a cool feeling to be able to do that. And winning championships never gets old.
No, it's so fun, and we just would love the opportunity to go to state and win a game, to play a couple more at state, because it's always hard to. You get there, but you want to win when you get there. So we'll see who the Vikings' opponent is next week. It'll be on Thursday. The girls play on Wednesday, boys play on Thursday. So we know it'll be on Thursday. We just don't know who it'll be against yet. But my guess is, by looking at some of the sub-states, that we were going to have one of the poorer records in the sub-states. So we're likely going to be playing one of the top teams, which we know Holcomb. We lost to Holcomb last year when we went to Emporia, so we know that's a definite possibility to get one of them. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We come back. Hopefully we'll get Doug Snyder or one of the players or somebody to come up and join us. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball, state-bound once again. Back right after this.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Ask for KSHSAA.
Warning. Free KSHSAA checking may lead to a rise in disposable income due to cashback on everyday debit card purchases, refunds on ATM fees, and elimination of so-called service fees. Increased satisfaction may result while operating your debit card. If you suffer from chronic money loss, search for KSHSAA online.
This has been a financial health advisory courtesy of KSHSAA. It's like money medicine for your shopping habit.
Offered locally at the Bank of Tiscott. Member FDIC.
Come back to Smoky Valley Gym, the Salina Ortho Player of the Game. Time now to name the Salina Ortho Player of the Game. Salina Ortho is this proud sponsor of Player of the Game, and I'll put that headset on there too.
Oh,
but we're going to do something a little different. We did it once before on a different night. We gave the player of the game to the entire senior class. The senior class of Zach Abel, Nick Reinert, Jacob Adams, Brett Heitschmidt, Ben Weldy, all doing such a sensational job. Zach Abel, the only one of the four that's not in double figures, but the steals he had early in the game and the tenacity that he played defense with. Jacob Adams, 15 points. Brett Heitschmidt, 15 points. Nick Reinert, 14 points. And Ben Weldy, 12 points. What a sensational job. So the 5 seniors are our Salina Ortho player of the game. And now joining us, Coach Doug Snyder. And, wow, we knew it was going to be a nail-biter, but we didn't expect you to go on that 14-0 run.
I'd like to say that was part of the game plan. We always knew that was going to happen. Let's be honest, getting them in foul trouble really helped. Having Jackson out and the Lovett kid out a little bit helped. But the only problem was when they all went out, then they just brought in 3-point shooters, and it was sometimes harder for us to guard that way than it was other. And, our sub patterns weren't very strong at times because we needed guys that could shoot and break the zone a little bit and see over the zone. They were so tall. It was so tough sometimes to have our smaller guards out there out front, so we tried to move some of our posts up there in the second half, and I don't know, sometimes we just get a little confused, but, we just made plays. We made plays when we had to make plays. There were shots that were taken that, Ben dribbling all the way out of the lane and back to the other side, and he shoots a 3 in the corner. I'm sure both of you were going, what in the world was that? That's
and he squares up to shoot. Oh, well.
Not a design play by any means, but, and I think Brett was the first one who tapped himself on the head after he took a quick 3 from the wing and said, dang it, I shouldn't have taken that one. But, again, we talked in the huddle at one point in time. I said, okay, you either got to decide we're either going to pull it out for a while or we're gonna go after it. And they said, if it goes under 10, we'll try to milk some clock. Otherwise, just play. I think they had 2 possessions, cut it to 8, and all of a sudden we were thinking, okay, we probably better take it out for a little bit and do that. I don't have any numbers for tonight. You said everybody was in double figures of the seniors except for Zach.
Zach, right? Yeah. There's my scorebook. You can take a quick peek at it.
You talked about it in the pregame show, and I want to bring it up again. Blake Hebel has 2 tremendous steals out front.
The starting play of the fourth quarter.
And then same thing, Zach Abel, 2 great steals and gets both layups full speed down the court. Those were big plays right there. I thought that changed some momentum at times where we needed the momentum to swing our way. It was a sluggish first quarter.
Yeah.
I thought defensively we did okay. Thought offensively we didn't hit as many shots as we hit the other night.
It wasn't sluggish on defense, though. Was there defensive quickness? You said you'd watched a lot of film. Was there defensive quickness in person faster than it was on film?
It was everything I expected it to be because I saw how quickly Silk kid got across the baseline on that. He was always moving, but the part of the thing was when you have that much length, Mark knows this from when he played, when we can run deflect and we've got length on the tops and the wings, you always have to throw over or you have to bounce it around him, and that gives that low guy enough time to get out there and bother, and that's what they did a lot of times. I thought to open the game we were a little sluggish at hitting the post. I thought the post was open a couple of times and we looked at him and we didn't throw it. And then I thought in the fourth quarter we hit the post a lot more and we were finishing. Even a lot of the third quarter, too, we started to hit the post inside, and that was big. But, hats off to Chapman. They competed. They battled. I know they had an injury, they had a couple of injuries during the season that hurt them, kind of like us, and one of those was out now. But, again, they played every bit of what I expected them to play. It was a knockdown, drag-out. When you pick up that 10 or 12-point lead, you still don't feel completely comfortable at the end. But we just wanted to hold on, and what an exciting night.
Sensational.
Third trip back in 3 years. I don't think that's been done here at Smoky ever. I don't think we've had back to back. I don't think we've ever had 3 in a row. So, and a credit, like I said before the game, I know these 5 seniors are great and wonderful, and we love what they do for us. But those other guys that have helped us do all the things, it always takes those extra guys to fill the mold and make sure you complete that team, and that's what those guys have done.
Lane Schrog with that rebound and put back in the lane. I mean, you talk about a low-scoring quarter, and there's a guy that comes off the bench that doesn't normally score much, but gets a rebound and a put back in the air. A sensational play by Lane Schrog.
The first points of the game.
Exactly. And like I said, I probably didn't get Lane and Carson and Cole and those guys enough minutes, but we got to that point where, we talk about that sometimes. Sure. Where do we bring our strengths? And we weren't able to get that kind of pressure and still get offense out of some of those possessions. And, again, I think everybody in the gym, their heart sank when Nick went down a couple minutes into the game and the shoulder popped out. And The trainer said, I think he's done for the night. And Nick said, this happens all the time. I think I'm okay. And
well, I wondered, I didn't even want to ask you, but thanks for telling me, because I assumed that's what it was, because there wasn't any other body parts that were looking like they were bad. So that was assuming that's shoulder, and it's...
Yeah, we had the trainers look at him. We made sure that everything was okay and got the thumbs up. And I think once Nick said this is a routine thing, even though it hasn't happened since freshman year, I think that landing down there where he hit, he just kind of stopped, and the shoulder, didn't have anywhere to go. So it was physical early. It was a very physical game, and they allowed us to play on both ends, and our guys knew that. We just knew we had to step up as the game continued, and I thought we just kept battling. I don't think we ever backed down. I don't know what we were down early, but it felt like it was like 7-2 or
5-0 run by you to tie it up after they were up 5-0, and then it was 7-5 after the first quarter. So it was just kind of a... We thought maybe we were playing a little apprehensive, a little tense, but they were just that quickness. Yeah, it was just a lot of quickness. So congratulations on a great job, and we got to do this again next week.
That'd be awesome.
We want to be at home. We're not going to be
Can we? Maybe they can move it here.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice facility. We bring them in. But I want to thank Coach Meyer and Coach Walter for all they've done in helping us get to this spot, too. It takes everybody to get it done, and all the conversations we have about what we're going to play defensively and what we need to do and change up at half, and all those things go into that. There's a lot of thinking and a lot of stressing, and a lot of things I think our kids just go play, and we do a lot of those other things too. But it sure is nice to see these guys tonight, and this is what we had hoped for at the beginning of the season. We were hoping for a little better record, but the chips didn't always fall during the season the way we wanted. But the resilience of this group and the belief that they can come into Substate and win is exciting.
It is. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you Thursday. Girls will play on Wednesday, boys on Thursday, so we'll see what game we play.
Sounds great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug Snyder of the Vikings, and what a great night for Viking basketball, and a three-peat performance of the Vikings going to state, and how exciting. Thanks for coming and helping.
Yeah, no problem. It's always good to, see a team. I'm not around as much anymore as I used to be, but it's always good to see, the hometown team win and send them back to state. And hopefully we haven't got an answer yet on that about what the last state win was for the Vikings, but hopefully, however long that drought is, hopefully we can break that drought next Thursday in Emporia.
No question about it. That'll wrap it up. Again, the final 66-53. The Vikings defeat Chapman, and in the early game, Concordia fell to Nickerson. So Nickerson, also a league member, gets their girls team to state this year. So that's a first for them for a long time.
One thing we did notice when we walked in is that all four teams in the Substate had a team in the finals.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is an interesting, maybe, you got 4 teams, boys and girls, 8 teams total, but each of the 4 communities had a reason to travel here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Good crowd on hand, too. Like I said, maybe it wasn't as good as it was back in the early 2000s when you were playing. It seemed like we had a little bit more community support, but still it was a great crowd anyway.
They just want to sit home and listen to you, I think.
Guess, maybe so. We'll see. And I want to thank Mike Rose for doing all this. Thank you, buddy, for being a great help and putting this out on the internet for everybody. And that'll wrap it up. The Vikings win the Substate and advance to the state tournament against Emporia. Brackets will be out tomorrow sometime, so we'll know when and who we play. And that'll wrap it up. Jared, thank you so much for all you do. For Mark, this is Don, wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. We cheer on the Wichita State Shockers tomorrow. Hopefully they can win at home.
Yeah, that'd be a big win. Obviously, they play 11 a.m. against Cincinnati for the American Conference title. It'll be a ruckus crowd.
Oh, yeah. You think this is loud here tonight.
It'll be one of those games that maybe think about bringing some earplugs to.
Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you next Thursday from Emporia.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating